Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Peggy from the Pearl Forest. It's my channel on YouTube, and you can find me on Ko-fi. So far I just have one free page there, but I'm working on that. Okay, for this installment of our Black Friday supply products usage, I thought I'm really kind of excited about this journal for a nature thing, which we worked on this frame here, which I have not added any additionally yet, but this is going to be the cover. And I want to have journal pages, the signature pages, that will be good for a nature theme. So I thought we could go through the pile of stuff we have here to see if we have anything that could make pages. We still have ephemera to make, but I thought we could start here. We have this page. Well, first of all, I thought I would measure what size pages would we like. And I'll be sewing the signature together and then gluing it in here. I really like this ruler. When I was studying architecture, I got this, and I like it because it has lots of different scales on it, but the triangular nature of it makes it easy to hold on to and pick up, and you can turn it over for different scales. And you can read the numbers nicely down to a 1/16 of an inch, which a lot of rulers are not that good for that. Okay, so this is 6 1/4. See if that's what we get. 6 1/4. Now we're not going to want it to be 6 1/4, but we could, since it'll be bound into here, if we did 6 inches for our pages, that could work. Or smaller, they could vary in size. And then this way, it's a little less than 7 1/2. So if we did, say, 7 1/4, so 7 1/4 by 6 inches, but we want them to be actually 12 because they need to fold, whether they're glued or what together. So this paper is an old piece of computer paper where they had the little holes that fed it through, and it's been coffee dyed. This is 15 by just a little under 11. So it wouldn't be 12, but but 7 1/4 we could get this way. So it looks like it fits in here. It was folded neatly in half. Looks like it would be pretty good for that. We might want to trim it a little bit. When you have a paper that's not where you want it, and if you kind of round it a little bit, you can get it to go smoothly to fix the fold. So fold it back, and so this way, oops, this isn't laying smooth, there we go. This is actually a little big, so we'll have to trim that, but first I think we'll trim it this way. We want 7 1/4. Let's see whether we want to trim the holes off or not. kind of like keeping them. Let's see how that works with this end if we did keep them. So if we go out here 7 and see these being all even like that, it's harder to see where the numbers are, but see the difference with this? The different length of the lines makes it easy to immediately say that's an inch, half inch, quarter inch, eighth of an inch, and 16th of an inch, whereas this, they're all equal. And so it's not as simple, you know, to see. So I see two big lines is a quarter on this thing, except we want 7 1/4. So we'll cut this at 7 1/4. Okay, but then we want, let's cut this one too. I think I'd like to keep the holes because that just shows it to be the retro computer paper. Now computer paper is mostly just copier paper to go in your printer. Now we have this little coffee dyed strip that we might like for something. Okay, now 6. This is way less than 6. Did I really want 6? No, I think I must have measured that incorrectly. There's my inch. There's my inch. Ah, yes, it's really not 6, it's 5. So we were gonna go 7 1/4 and let's see, 5. That's actually where it folds. 5 might be too big. I think we should go 4 3/4, which would be 8 6/4, which would be 9 1/2. Is that right? 3/4 3/4 is 1 1/2, and 4 4 plus 1 is 9. Yep. So you might think that your math you had in school will never be useful, but it's even useful in art. Okay, so we want, since it's folded, we do want the 4 3/4. So that would be right here. My cutter. Here's another strip that we can use for something. And 4 3/4. I think this could possibly have 2 signatures because there's quite a space. Either that or 1 and just make it chunky. But here's 2 pages that we'll just sit over here for the moment. Now we have this one that's got some different notes on it. Talking about journals, and things have been dyed though. So the height is 7 1/4. If there's something we want to cover up, we'll just cover it up while we're making it. Trying to get this to lay flat. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm out here in my Arctic space again. Now we do have holes, but that's okay. Okay, so if it's not folded yet, we want 9 1/2. So I'm gonna, even though this is nicely dyed, I'm gonna get rid of more of the written part. Although it really wouldn't be getting rid of much of anything. So let's go this way and keep it. So we want 9 1/2. 9 1/2. It's good to know the folded size and the unfolded size. So let's fold this up. This will be a true scrappy junk journal. Okay, so now we have 3 pages. I didn't know if we could fold these or not. These are some master boards. They would be kind of interesting pages, but let's see if they're big enough. 9.5 by 7.25. Well, we can do 9.5. Let's do, yeah, 9.5. And straighten this edge up a little bit because I think I wanted, I'm not sure what side I want. Whoops, we knocked our little cutter off. Yeah, I think I'll keep this side. So this would be 7.25. Although we could do, we could fold this up for a pocket. Why don't we do that? So we could use this as a guide. Maybe we should measure instead. That would be more accurate. Set this over just slightly. So, where did we go here? We have, that's our 9.5, which will be folded. And then we want 7.25. Line here, 7.25. I did just get a new digital that would be some fun things to put in here. Okay, let's see. If we line this up, if I had a scoreboard out here, we could do that, but I don't. It's in another space. But I'm going to line my pencil up on these lines like that and use it to make the fold on the edge of the ruler. Okay. And finish folding it, getting the edges straight. And then if I don't have a bone folder, we always have one if we have scissors, because the handle works really nice as a bone folder. Okay, now we need to fold this in half. Line up our edges. Come on. To get this flat. Curve. It's easier to find the line. It's actually also easier if we can see the contrast to line up the edge. And I think it's more important to get this bottom corner lined up for where the pocket is. Kind of work this over here into a fold. There we go. Since this is not going to show up next to things, and if it did, we could always trim it anyway. Okay. So now we have a page like this with some pockets. So there's another page. We have another one of these. We could put two of those in there, especially if we have two signatures. That would be nice, which we'll play that by ear. So let's go 9.5. Let's make sure this is straight first. arbitrarily make it straight. And then make this 90 degrees. There's another math term for you. Okay, 9.5, 4, 9.5. Okay, move this over again. So this double check, this is our 9.5, so we'll make this the bottom. So we're going to go up here 7.25. And you can just do 2 lines if you want to do this to make a line, but if you have 3 lines, then you are more apt to have a straight edge. Could be off with 2, but you'll see it if you have 3. And you can make a little adjustment as to how you're lining up with these 2 lines, so you can double check the center. Okay, it's again, we're just rubbing this against the corner of our ruler to essentially score it into a fold. Press that together and we'll fold, so we'll round this a little bit and fold this over. Since it's mostly just color and texture, there aren't pictures that we have to worry about being right side up. There isn't an up or down, which is better if you're making a masterboard, especially if you're going to flip something up like this, because part of it would be upside down. But say there is something upside down, you can always put something over it. So now we're up to 5 pages. Okay, we have this yellow one with lines, and this is actually an advertisement that I thought we could still make use of and put stuff over later, stamping or whatever. It looks like it's hand printed, but it's not. It's an advertisement. So let's see, let's take off the phone number end. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're doing, once again, we're doing 9.5. Oops. 9.5. And actually the phone number is still there. And we want 7.25. Let's keep that line and take off this end. Okay. And fold this one in half. Even though it was folded before, that's okay. Okay, there's one more page. It fits in our book. Okay, we have 2 of these that printed poorly, but they have some pretty flower things that would be nice in a journal like this. Now this end looks better than that end, so we'll keep that. So once again, we'll do 9.5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9.5. I'll just make myself a line here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Does that work? There. And 7.25. It just speeds things up. Okay. 9.5. And 7.25. So all this was in my original shopping. Wasn't sure how we would use it. But these are big enough to be pages, so we'll put them in as pages. That makes nice for a journal for botanical gardening things. Okay, another one. I was running out of ink. It wasn't the digital's fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. It's just the printer got thirsty. I hadn't fed it yet. But waste not, want not. We are recyclables. We are recyclers. Someday we're recyclables too. From dust we're made and dust we return. Recycled back into the earth. Our bodies are. Okay, there's that page. I'm not sure how many we have, but that's okay. And this is a printout from some information from World Vision. So this is printed in 2005. That's how long I have things hanging around my house. This was probably in a file or just some papers I needed to sort and never quite got around them to doing that. If you know me, you know that's ever a possibility. But my challenge for 2025, which we're moving ahead of time, is to sort it all out and use it up. So this has been sorted out and we're working on using it up. So this side's pretty much plain. See, we're not cutting straight. I don't know if it's the top and the ruler, whether it's operator error, or whether these cutters don't cut as straight as you would like them to. All right, what else do we have? Here's some testing paperwork for Taekwondo. Now it's already folded, so I think I'll keep it folded and I'll just go this way. Where did I write my note? Oh, it was over here. 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Oops, cut it off there. And this one we will be covering over with things in some way. See how that will end up being. But we're recycling. What else do we have? Here's some book page. The Office of Personnel Management, OPM job application route. Federal Job Information Center. Okay, don't know why I have this, but I do. Let's go this way. That's kind of dinged up at that end. So 7 1/4 and 4 3/4 because it's already folded. You're making a journal along with me. I'm sure yours is probably not the same size because this is from a used book. But before I cut all of these, I want to keep one for a pattern for a minute. You would have 7 1/4. You would have a different size book that you might be recycling or making your own cover out of package materials or something. But it wouldn't be the size of mine, most likely. I mean, that would be a rare exception if we happen to have the same book that we've covered over. Okay. Now this is a page that's been colored partly. Let's see if we have, this way it's supposed to be 7 1/4. So that'll straighten up this edge. And this is 4 3/4. Okay. And that looks smoother on that side, so we'll keep it. Alrighty, and 4 3/4. I know we still need some more pages. Oops, here's one more down here. This one has jiggy joggies of being torn out of the book. But even if it wasn't quite big enough, we would straighten the edge out, but it looks like it's big enough. Okay, and 4 3/4, and I don't know if you caught when I said it before, but I don't put my blade down at one end or the other, but I stab it actually part way up. Then it doesn't ding up the edge as much. Okay, there's that. Okay, I'm going to use this one on some of this paper. This one looks a little flatter. Let's try this one. I would use my paper cutter, but sorry for the crinkles, but it's, I think, harder to get it in the paper cutter and laying flat to measure. So actually I don't need to use this because I don't need to make it 8.5 by 11. What I really need to do is use one of these, which are the size that I want. So I was just going to trace it and cut it out. Now if I can line it up neatly on this squared edge, I can save one end of cutting. Lay it nice and flat. And sketch a line here. So I can make a page out of this packing material paper. I also thought we could use some magazine pages and cover them with some of this packing machine paper or the wrapping paper. Oh, I have an idea for a page edge. Did I look at my clock? I don't know that I did. Sorry about that. Okay. We'll just have to wing it. This video will not contain page edges or more ephemera. It's just going to be getting enough signature pages or things like that to put in. Okay, we can get 2 off of this, and we can use these extra pieces for making ephemera, backing, writing surface on the back of tags and journal cards, making collages, making additional book covers, finishing the journal topper, or making a new topper. Put that over there. Now this is thin, but I think it will be okay. I think just one in each signature would be good. I think it should be 2 signatures, I think, for that book. Hopefully we're still in the camera area. Maybe we weren't quite. I drew a line on my messy table. I'd really love to hear from people. If they have any suggestions or what they might be doing. And please like and subscribe and share my channel with your friends and family and others, so we can have more people join the party. Hopefully you can find something interesting and useful, inspiring, just entertaining. Or just come on and hang out with me. We might not see each other in person, but we can hang out here. Okay, here's 2 more pages. Okay. Now we can use this piece of wrapping paper I brought out isn't big enough. Although we can make a skinny one. Wonder if this one's big enough. Ah, looks like it is. No, if that one has straight edges, we might have to cut all the way around. Pencil. So I've used packing paper and old coloring pages and wrapping paper and junk mail advertisements. What else do we have? Old notebook paper that I had notes on for something, and coloring pages that have been colored or not colored. What else have we used? If some of that green wrapping paper was big enough, we could put it on, but I think that would make a nice page edge also. There's one. Let's make 2. It'd be nice if we can get matching things into each signature. We can line this line up. We have less lines to cut. Look, that was just big enough, whoops, for 2. I'm not worried if we get a little something on these edges because we're going to distress them, so in the end it won't show. Plus we can always erase it because it's just pencil. That one's jogging up a little bit and this one's jogging down, but it kind of has to stay on the paper here. Okay, so that's 2 of these. So one thing about these rolled papers is they're a little tricky in that they curl so much. And they're kind of thin. This is another wrapping paper I found that I really liked. I might add some of this later because I do have a lot more of that. It's just not out here at the moment, so I think I'll cut some of those pages too. I like to find interesting ones that are more this craft paper as opposed to the glossy, shiny. And I definitely don't really like glitter. It has its place, but generally it's not something that I would choose. I think this definitely needs to be straightened out a bit by running it over the table here. See if that helps a little. No, not really. Anyway, this craft paper kind of wrapping paper I think works nicer for junk journals. The glossy isn't as nice. I know I use the glossy stuff from magazines, but it's not my favorite either. I know why people use digitals and scrapbook paper. This is more pleasing. But I like the coloring pages and other different kinds of paper too. They have different textures. I don't know if you can see this in this curly area here. Trying to curl it out of the way. Okay, this is small enough. We'll put it in our bucket here. And generally when I fold it, I put the decorative side out. This might be a little waxy, but I think we'll be able to use it anyway if it doesn't glue as well with the glue stick. So if we find that out, we'll just use art glitter glue then. Okay, I don't think I trimmed this as well, so I might straighten this out. Maybe I will right now while I'm thinking about it. Straighten this up a little. Top is a little crooked too. That wasn't very useful. 4 3/4. A little sliver there. Straightened it out a little though. So now we have that one. And we need to finish turning this one. We'll see what else we can find. We could also take pages that we didn't like and we can paint on them to make some painted papers. Maybe we'll do that one day. I'd like it to be mostly natural, neutral, green, brown, blue. More of the basic natural colors. If you think about nature, those are the ones you're going to see the most. And then the other brighter colors can stand out and be highlighted when they appear. Like flowers and birds and butterflies and animals, which are actually usually more neutral colors, but not always. Okay. Fold this one. See how many pages we have. Let's see though. We have this one. We have the one I was using for measuring, and then we have this one that I was gonna use for measuring, then I realized it wasn't what I needed. Let's just cut it down. I want this to be 7 1/4 and 4 3/4. You can see how many more pages that we would like to have. Okay. We have all these. In the book. So if we have this in a book, let's put a coloring page in one of these. And is there a plain coloring page? No, I think it's just the colored one. And this brown one. And we can rearrange these later if we want to. Here's this one that looks like a book page, but it's not. This one. One of those. One of those. Oh, there's the other coloring page. Thought there was another one. Where would we like these pocket ones? Maybe there. So between the book and the brown, between the book and the brown, put in a pocket. And we have the yellow and the coloring book. We have this text, this, and this, and these two. Let's put this maybe between the color book and the brown. Between the color book and the brown. This curly one will eventually lay flat. All right, these are kind of similar. So let's just stick these in the middle. Oops. And we'll put the coloring book. This one. Is that right? We have writing page and color book. Why is the book page there? The book page is there. Oh, I guess they have two of them. So book page, sort of like a color book. Oops, it does go that way. One more page we could put in somewhere. This one here, just outside the masterboard pocket. And this one outside the masterboard pocket. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 in each of these. Oops. Just gotta do something with those. So I think we need more in each of them. But do we have room for much more than that though with this book? Not a huge amount more, but we do have room for some more. Okay, so we have magazine. What did we have here? We did have the way down here somewhere. We had some envelopes. We have this one, and we have this one. I thought about just having a smaller piece of this. So this would be, first of all, we need to straighten this edge. It's not exactly straight there, but we'll fix that. since it's not straight, we better use the straight one. So straighten up the end. Then we want to go, oops, we want to go 9.5. Is that right? Yeah, 9.5. And 9.5. Did I do that 9.5? No, I think I did that last. 9.5. And I did that 7.5. Wonder if this one will be big enough. Yeah, just barely. 9.5. Get that right here. Okay, so if we fold this way, and then we straighten up this side. Which side we're going to be able to see what we got here. Make it slightly smaller to get that an even edge. So we have that one, and this one, scrappy, we can throw away. Both these sides are crooked, so need just a little bit there. That came off, okay. My cutting area here is getting clogged. That's probably one reason it's not cutting as good. Straighten this side up. Getting clogged there. Huh. That still is not straight. It's got a chop in the middle there. That's better. Okay. So we have these two. Why is one? Did I cut them both? I did. That one's a lot bigger, but I cut both of these, I think, smaller. Maybe not. No, this is the one I need. I think that's right now. So these are the two we want. We want to put them in here. Could put them in here. Little interest right there. So there'll be a shorter page. So we're doing that where the text is. So that goes in there. And then we have these envelopes. Now this one has this additional piece. Guess we could keep it. Now it's going to be too tall. If we go this way, I could get rid of this, but this is the pocket. Okay. this is the envelope. So we could use this page for something additional as well. So fold this in half. Fold this one in half. In order for these to work, flipping between them, I'll show you with the line here so you can see it. The line, whoops, it's supposed to just be on my flap. And this one on the flap. So since it's going to sew down the middle, these have to be off to the side. And then to make it uniform, we'll cut this side at an angle too. Like that. The same with this one. Just cut a little V in here so that, and it actually already has an angle over there, which we could match that angle if we knew how to do that. Eyeball it, I guess. Okay, and then this is curved. I wonder if one of these would work. It's not a 90-degree corner, so not really. So maybe we just have to wing it. Okay. Wing this one. Alright, so now this goes somewhere in the signature. It has pockets, so we'll put it there. We put it on the coloring page like that, and then you can still open up the side. So we'll put this one over here. Oops. At the coloring page, and you'll be able to open, whoops, it's the wrong place. Coloring page. Make sure I put that one in there correctly. Like this. And then you'll be able to open these up. Okay. Did I put this one in there correctly? Yeah. Alright, so we still have, we have 9 plus the 2 small things. But it's a fairly good bundle. How does that look in here? You don't want it to be flapping too big before you start, but that's not too bad. I think we could still put a few more pages in. See if we can find some more. Well, we always have these. I'm just gonna do a collage with those. We have this page that we cut off the envelope. That's a possibility. We have this big envelope. I know, what if we took something out of this big book? Let me do that. It's getting deep on here. Okay, so this is mostly neutral catalog things. Before I display the address on here, which is Not something I want to do, especially since it's not mine. I don't want mine exposed either, but especially not somebody else's. So let me cover this up. Okay. Now, what would be good? This cover would actually be nice in some ways. This Coliseum. I'm gonna think nature journal. What would look good with nature? Now, you know, you can think like this. It's gonna go in there the other direction though, I think. Unless we made it smaller. This is like about 9 inches. So it could be slightly smaller, and then that could be upright. And this is a little over 11. So we could use this. So that might make a nice set of 2 pages. And thank you for the people that thought of me and sent me this catalog. Okay, let's see. I think these chairs might be nice too. Here's one with a plant. Let's just go, well, this one has the writing. Let's use that for ephemera instead. Try to avoid the writing pages. We don't really want the King of the Stone Age. I'm sure he does nice work, but I don't really want it in my nature journal. Let's see, this is pretty. Has a little bit of writing, but not too much. That's fairly neutral. It has a little bit of the darker color, which could be nice. So that's an additional 3 pages. So now I think that might be enough. Okay, so these are 9.5 this way. And if we do it this way, we can cut off the writing. 9.5. And this way is, oops, good thing that didn't stab that, 7.25. So I guess we're only getting 1 double page, but 1 page, so we really need at least 1 more to be even for the books. That's 1 set. This has some writing, so we'll take that end off. Some of these parts we're cutting off will be nice for ephemera because they'll kind of match pages somewhere in the book. It's kind of like somebody called it once cross-pollinating, where you take some stuff from one place and you put it in nearby places and they kind of grow similar things so they look nice together. Okay, this does have some writing, but we can cover that up with the pocket probably. So this is going to have to be the 7.25. And this is writing, so this is 9.5. And if something ends up upside down, well, we'll cover it up. Thinking these would fit more the other direction and be, this is crooked. and be right side up for both sides, but it doesn't seem to be that way. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3. So we need at least one more. This is really just wood, but the back isn't all that. I like the furniture lines. They do look nice, but I don't want this part down here. I can't cut enough of it off. See, I like that. Could do that. Okay, oops. I think this might be enough, and I think we're probably have plenty of time into our video, and I need to let you go. So let's just finish this little part up, and we'll see what we have here. Okay, so we have 4 more. That has dark on those 2. So let's see. We have this page and this one. We have this one. Let's put one of these here. And we have this one, this one. Put it in here. Let's see, we want a light one. For some reason I want this one. We have the envelope pocket, these pages. Repeat through the other half of this signature. And then we have this one. Where did we put that? We put it after the writing. Not that it has to be in the same order, but just kind of makes the uniform nature between the 2 signatures. And then the other one I put, where did I put it? Between the white and the envelope. So here. You can always do a flip out if we want to make this bigger, plus we'll have stuff in it, but I think we'll go with that. And maybe have some fold out ones that will add some additional thickness, but I think we'll go with those 2 signatures. So this is where we are so far on our Black Friday project. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully this isn't an overly long video, but you can always fast forward if you need to. So this is Peggy from the Pearl Forest, and we're making a Black Friday shopping around the house nature journal, plus some other ephemera and other journals. Thank you for joining me. Take care and have a great day full of love. Thank you. See you next time.